this is real time what recovery looks like. This is the honest reality, guys. I'm just laying it out. And I think that's a really, really, really important like message to take home to your training as well. Like this, what I'm showing you right now is going to happen to you if you're pushing your training. Fitting book just threw itself at me. That was weird. Okay. Right. Guys. Where do I start? Feeling a bit flat today. It's time to deload. It was time to deload at the start of the week. As per my training program. And I wanted to talk a little bit around the kind of like philosophy and the psychology around deloading. So tried my best to stay consistent over Christmas. Got in some great training sessions, somewhat inconsistent barbell work, but that's okay. Managed to make great progress, albeit only 2 of the weeks of my deadlift work were phenomenal. Well, actually, no, 3 of them were pretty good. I missed one because of Christmas and New Year, and I missed one squat session after New Year. Obviously, you've seen that I'd squatted on Christmas Day. That was good. Wasn't at target intensity, but it was beltless, sleeveless. So the stimulus was still high. But today I've decided, even though I spoke to my coach, this is week 5 of me trying to extend my training ability, and it's failed. I have not been able to successfully complete a week of training. I got in a good training session yesterday, but I woke up and I sneezed, and I managed to displace a rib, maybe a couple of ribs in my upper ribs and lower. Had to get my wife to jump on me with a ball under that rib to crunch it back into place. Got lots of experience doing that. Tends to happen to me because I'm hypermobile. I'll do another video on that another time, but my elbows, my thumbs, my knees, and my ribs are hypermobile. It's not great for... Well, it's not terrible, but obviously, like, slightly sublux in the rib from sneezing is not the greatest. So as you can see, like in the tone of my voice, I'm feeling pretty low, but that's all right. You need to accept that highs and lows are gonna happen during your training cycle. It comes with the territory of pushing your stress hormones consistently over a period of time, and there has to be a recovery phase. This is quite well documented in athletes, in athletic populations, except back when I first started learning about it, it was like over 6-week periods. And I think like that, I think the study that I read was on a 6-week training period, or training block. But that time to need to recover is going to be multifactorial, like so many other things in trying to correlate cause and effect in sports science. So if oh god, I lost my train of thought now. See what I mean? Even my thinking's like dead out. Completely lost where I was. Oh yeah, time to fatigue. So like your time to fatigue, my time to fatigue in this case was very much 4 weeks. So 4 weeks training hard and then a deload week. This week was supposed to be the deload week, and it's shown that it should have been based on the struggles. So I had a good squat session on Monday. And then Tuesday I had a good sort of like recovery session. And then yesterday I had a fairly good bench press session, to be honest. But I woke up like with my back against the ropes with the ribs thing, and then I beat the hell out of my my traps, trying to get those ribs back in place. And then And then later on in the day, I was just training my clients, and I just went to put a plate back in the rack, and I tweaked my right lower back. I'm pretty sure it's my multifidus, so I got straight on with some bodyweight hyperextensions again. I've done a video on that, which heals it real quick. So it's together, but it's sensitive. So I have made the decision with the sore traps and the sore lower back, I'm not going to attempt my 2x5 at 280 today. That's going to have to wait till the next training block. I need now to rest the rest of this weekend. And then the next week, the reason why I delayed the deload was because I got a holiday coming up. Except, yeah, I didn't like mindlessly try and push through the fatigue, and I'm not going to, because that is just asking for an injury now. So I just need to concentrate on putting myself back together. I'm going to maintain some level of consistency over the next week over at Center Parcs with the family. I'll be getting up to do early morning training sessions if I feel like it. Keeping bodyweight variations in to cover the movement patterns of my training plan. So it'll be push up, pull up, superset over at the little park thing that they've got there early in the morning, and then it'll be raised heels bodyweight raised heel squats for time. Day one, and then the next day will be more push-ups, horizontal row, superset. And then maybe a closer grip push-up, or maybe like a deficit push-up if I can facilitate that somehow at the little park that they've got there. This is going to be silly o'clock in the morning, so like there's no one around. I don't want people to see me. People are going to think it's weird, like some giant man in some kid's park doing a calisthenics workout. And then I'll sort of like head back to the bit, and I'll do some walking lunges. I might walk and lunge all the way back to the thing, but it'll be as like the race squats be 10 minutes, the walking lunges will be 10 minutes. So yeah, I'll just do as many as I can, basically. So that should be enough to sustain the vast majority of the muscle mass I work so hard to build, and I'll just do that 4 times a week. So I'll stick to my usual routine. And then on the Tuesday as well, I'll take my dumbbells and I will do some single to maintain the hinging strength and the hamstrings. So I'm going to take my band, take my dumbbells. I'll do some leg curls, banded leg curls, probably just banded leg curls, to be honest with you. And then I could actually make the split squats a dumbbell variation, so I could do that instead. Yeah, so deload time. This is the honest reality, guys. I'm just laying it out there as it is. This is what it's about. You can see my whole demeanor has completely changed. I'm not in a good place compared to where I was the last 4 weeks, but it's not depression. It's just, it's suppression. Like my body's suppressed. I've completely exhausted myself, and rather than try and battle through, I'm basically just allowing myself the time and the mental space to allow myself to come down. So yeah. And I think that's a really, really, really important like message to take home to your training as well. Like this, what I'm showing you right now is going to happen to you if you're pushing your training really, really, really hard. As a powerlifter or a power builder, if you're getting those high peaks of cortisol and adrenaline secretion over extended periods of time, what goes up must come down. Our bodies are really, really good at maintaining homeostasis, which is essentially being a healthy human being. So my body's doing everything it needs to do to regulate the hormonal storm to come for the next peaking block or the next training block, where I definitely want to hit 3 5s at 280. So I'm already setting targets. So that's a positive mindset. So when you are feeling low like this, like set some targets for the next run, because that's already, just thinking about that now, it's just popped into my mind. I'm excited now because I know that I want 3 5s at 280 in my next training block, and that'll be fantastic. If I do nothing else, if I get that, that's huge. That's a huge amount of progress. And if I get that, I'll probably shoot for 290 for like a set of 5 if I'm set 5s again by my coach. It'll be good to speak with him and discuss that. So I'm super motivated. He'll probably put that back in because I'm motivated and it's worked. That's the important part. It's not just a he says I do kind of relationship. It's very much a communication of what's working, what isn't working. Let's do more of what works and what motivates you. Which is really, really funny. It takes me back to when I first started with him and he started putting in this seated shoulder press, like literally sitting on the floor with your legs out in front. I hated it so much I didn't even remember the name. I think they call it a Z press. And oh God, I hate it. I hate it so much. So I'd much rather just do a standing barbell press or like a dumbbell shoulder press. So oh, excuse me. See, like I can barely stay awake, and I've had good sleep. My recovery is good. Like this is real time. What recovery looks like, guys. This is reality. You've got to have the lows with the highs. I am just talking now because I'm hoping that in this spiel I'm gonna come out with something useful for you, because I just feel ridiculous right now. But again, like that's a really good example of like how your mind's gonna start playing games with itself, as there's this kind of like fluctuation in hormones of your body like kind of resetting itself ready for the next training block. So be prepared for that as well. And these are all that's a great sign for you to look out for when it's time for deload, when your mind starts turning more negative and like inwards towards you. It doesn't have to be really bad. It could just be a slight change in your normal thought process, and that's something to pay attention to. So appetite is one as well. I must say my appetite's not been raging the last few days, and so strangely, if my appetite drops, that usually comes part and parcel of a deload. For me, that's something I personally experienced. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, what else is there? Oh yeah, obviously a reduction in training performance. So like, although the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday training sessions have actually gone pretty well, I've hit the wall today, and I just know that I'm not going to be able to rev myself up for the work on the deadlift. So I'm throwing the towel in early, a few days early, or you could say 4 days late, 5 days late. So yeah. But while I'm here, and I touched on a point there of talking about like the benefits of a coach, I messaged my coach yesterday, and I don't need loads and loads and loads of communication as a client. What I have realized that I really, really like from the coaching aspects from my coach is just having that guidance on the major compounds. Because like I'm really good at training all the power build. I'm really good at doing all the hypertrophy. I'm really good at fixing myself when I break. I'm really good at recovery. I'm really good at programming in that respect. But in order to get to the next level, I was like, what I was doing was burning me out, and I was just like, right, I don't know what the hell to do now. So and like that would very often lead me down a path of philosophical programming adventure, because I'd be like, right, well, that's not working, let's try something new. But the trouble is I've got so strong that if I make a mistake now and I do too much, the cost does not outweigh the benefit. So like that was my prerequisite for asking for a coach to sort of like help me manage the steps forward with the heavy work, because it's the most fatiguing for me, and I'd probably argue for most power building programs, or powerlifting programs. And yeah, it's just really nice to have a plan from someone that I respect, who's done it, who's walked the walk, continues to walk the walk, has a very similar situation to me in life, and I'm like, right, how have you done that? So he's ahead of me, and it's so helpful to have a set amount of work to be done, and I can be like, right, whether I think this is enough or not, this is what he says, I trust that, and I can step away rather than pressing the self-destruct button and going, well, is it enough? And then doing God knows however many other sets, or potentially changing up a routine. That's also something I tend to do when I'm on a deload. I tend to, like, my brain tries to like try and figure out a new routine to try and work around the fatigue, when in actual fact you just need rest. So if you are writing your own programs, this is an amazing tip while I'm here. If you're writing your own programs and you suddenly find yourself like sticking to a plan, and then like, oh, if I don't deload, I could just change it this way, and then that would give me an extra day recovery, and then I could perform. No, you're just delaying the inevitable, which is exactly what I just did in this last week. I delayed the inevitable. I still got a few days good training out, but inevitably I could not complete the full week. So someone's just turned up to deliver a parcel, it looks like. Yeah. I think that'll do for now, guys. Thanks very much. I'll catch you in the next one, and drop me a comment or a like and subscribe. Thank you.